What's up everyone? Today I went to the Stussy sale for the first time. It's Friday, April 25th, and they do the sale for 3 days, Friday through Sunday. And I've been wanting to go to one of these sales for a while, and I managed to get an early slot and picked up more than a few things than I expected. So I will show you that in this video. First off, if you do like content like this, make sure to hit the like video, subscribe, follow me on IG, watch the shorts on TikTok, all that stuff. So I'll cover my first time experiencing this. I believe they've done this sale for probably more than a few years. This is the first time I've gone, like I said, and I've been wanting to go just because of timing and my schedule. I haven't been able to go. So first thing, I lined up. There's a decent amount of people there, but I will say the line did move pretty fast for the first time slot. I was probably in a line for maybe a good like 30 minutes overall, so it did go quick, but I do recommend trying to sign up for the early time slots because I feel like things will sell out, but I don't know if they restock stuff on like the second or the third day. I'm kind of assuming that, but I have no idea. Also didn't get much sleep, so I feel like a zombie right now, and especially throughout that sale. But like I said, I was in that line for maybe 30 minutes. Once you go closer to the front, you show them your time slot. And then when I went in, it was pretty overwhelming. There was tons of stuff to look at. This was my first time, so I just didn't even know where to begin with. When you first go in, first thing you're gonna see are the t-shirts off to the right side. And there was a lot of people in that t-shirt section. If anything, there was one part of like the t-shirts where it was really a bunch of stuff just jumbled up, probably just some people just looking in and then just pushing off to the side. So a lot of stuff was scattered there. Personally, I was not looking to get any Stussy tees. If anything, I already have more than enough tees. I wanted to check out some of the other stuff. The first thing that I did end up grabbing are some of the jerseys. When I first got there, I noticed right away the jersey. So I got two of these. I got the black and gray of the Team Stussy Sport jersey. I think they just had these two colors, and there's a couple of other cotton mesh items. The neck was pretty tight, so I was scared to try it on there. I also wasn't sure if you're allowed to try things on. These were marked down to $75. I forgot what they're usually at. I think they're around 120. I'm not 100% sure if these were 120 when they first came out, but their current jerseys on their site are listed at 120. So I had to pick these up. I'm like, don't even think about it, just grab these. I grabbed the gray one in the medium. This one here is made in Vietnam. These jerseys are very see-through, so I'd probably recommend wearing something underneath. They look really good with a white tee, and they're very cropped. These are 100% polyester, made in Vietnam. We have a big Stussy Sport on the front, nothing on the back. I thought I was gonna go with a small, but I think I might stick with the medium. I wish I grabbed the black and medium. I think they still had that size. If anything, I should have just grabbed all of them because I'm sure I could sell some of them, but I did not want to get too greedy. I was there pretty early, and then give some for the rest of the people, even though I'm sure somebody just grabbed a bunch of them to just sell. I think the next section I looked at were the jackets. So I did want to get one of the work jackets. Those retail for around $228, I believe. There wasn't as many as I was hoping for. And then I usually grab size small because some of these Stussy jackets are a little bit oversized. But by the time I looked at these jackets, they were out of the smalls. If anything, I wasn't sure if they were out of the small whites. I just wasn't thinking about getting the white one. I really wanted this like camo design. If anything, I wanted to get the green one. They had a medium, but I kind of was like debating if I should grab it or not. I ended up just leaving it there. They had them down to $150. Retail is $228 on those, and also the online work jackets are down to $100, but I ended up not grabbing any of those. A big reason why I wanted to go to these sales is because I saw somebody on TikTok say that they got one of these work jackets for $100. Now I know they probably got the online ones for $100, and then the quilted ones are $150. And then I ended up getting one of these shell jackets. So I got this like sage color. This one ended up being $100. Retail is $185, so it's almost half off. I will say there is a little pin mark on the back. So I don't know if I should have bargained with them, be like, hey, can I get a bigger discount? Or the reason why they're discounted is because certain items are flawed. So it's just a little pin mark on the back there. But this one I grabbed a small. They also had that green colorway that I wanted on the work jacket, but they only had a medium. So I decided to grab this one in a small, and I'm pretty happy about this. And I had a few other colorways, but I ended up just grabbing this one because it was the size I wanted. For reference, I'm 5'7", around 160. This is the Beach Shell Wavy Dye Sage jacket in a size small. I wish these were waterproof, but unfortunately they are not. But I really like the fit on this. It looks great. And then for the materials, the shell is 100% nylon. The half lining is 100% polyester, made in China. And then everything was pretty organized. There was pricing on the items, so when there was like a rack of them, I was hoping to find some thermals for a good price, but I personally didn't like the ones they had. I only saw a couple of the simple Stussy logo ones in like a size XL, so I couldn't grab it. Maybe people earlier grabbed these smaller sizes, but by the time I went to go look, they ended up being gone. And that was one of the last things that I looked at. And I only grabbed one of these knit shirts, and this might be my favorite item that I picked up. This is in the black colorway. I grabbed a size small, and it fits great. It's 100% cotton. It didn't have the retail price on it, but where it was at, I think it said 50 to 70. Even later on in checkout, I told the guy, I think it was like 50 to 70. And then we did a rock, paper, scissors on what I would pay. So he said if I win the rock, paper, scissors, I'd pay 50. If I lose, I'd pay 70. Unfortunately, I did lose. I thought that was fun. I'm just bad at rock, paper, scissors. He probably saw that I was gonna do paper the whole time. And like I said, this is one of my favorite pickups. I ended up paying $70. I really don't know what the normal price is, but I love the details on the bottom with the Stussy S's. You really can't see it, but it's one of those very low-key items that if you know, you kind of know. And then next up here, we have the Big Crackle Sport crew neck. I grabbed a size medium in this burgundy colorway. I was trying to find other colors, but this was the only one I could find. If anything, they had tons of these in this colorway. I can't remember what the retail price on the normal crew necks are. It might be around like $130, but I believe I paid $70 for this. And then this one came in the back. I really like the fit. I like how small the wrist cuff and the waistband are. It gives you that perfect like boxy look. I ended up going with a medium here. For reference, I'm 5'7", around 165. I love the colorway, and it's something I'll be putting on a lot. I did try to find a cool zip up because every time I turned around, I would see somebody with a good zip up. I think that's another thing that I kind of looked at later on. So a lot of the good zip ups were probably gone. So next time I go to one of these sales, I'm gonna have a game plan of what section to go first, or like what I think is gonna sell out pretty fast, like zip ups, the work jackets, jerseys, probably some of the items that will sell out fast. I'm assuming some of the cool shirts, but I personally did not want to spend around like $30 to $50 on a shirt. And then last but not least, I grabbed 2 beanies and then one of these hats. This is the Basic Wash Low Pro cap in the faded tan. Don't know what the retail is. I think their hats are around 40 to 45, but I paid 25 for this. And then I got 2 of these skull cap beanies. It actually still has the Dover Street Market tag at $40. But they charge $20 for these. And then for materials, these are 100% acrylic, so it's very stretchy. But that's everything I picked up. I ended up spending a total of $490.26. So they do charge tax. I checked out at 10:18, so I was there for probably an hour and a half. I kept on looking around, trying to buy stuff, because at first I ended up just having 2 items for quite a while because I'm like, don't just buy things just to buy it. And I kept on looking, and then I grabbed more stuff. If anything, I ended up letting go of a few things that I was gonna get, but I'm like, I really don't need this. I ended up just leaving it there. I was trying to have some self-control. They even had some of the old like Nike collab sneakers. I was thinking about getting the pink pair, but they listed them at retail. They also had the Stussy and Nike socks, but they charged $40. I'm like, why does that feel like more than the retail? It might just be what they usually charge. I thought it was cheaper. It was like $40 for 3 pairs of socks. If anything, you could buy their own like single pair of socks for $10 each. That was a better deal. They had some hats that I wasn't too big into. I don't really care for fitted hats. There was bags as well, some accessories. The only research I did is watch some people's TikTok on these Stussy sales. Eventually they'll do another one maybe later this year. If you haven't checked one out, go do that. And then I just got my FTP stuff like a month after I placed the order, so I will show you that in another video. But that's gonna be it. If you do enjoy watching this, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.